Reggie, go over there. Go over there and hang out. That's a good boy. Okay. I'm getting myself together over here. Got a desk full of nail polish and I want to do my nails because it has been a few days and I'm tired of having bare nails. Oh, they need polish. Can't you see? It's ready. It's time. It's time. So I picked out a bunch of different colors. I'm feeling teal. I'm in a teal mood. But oh, I need to quickly change something. I gotta get my aura on. I'm auraless. I can't be auraless, everybody. That's not good news. Give me the aura. Okay. Whee! There we go. That's some nice aura. Yeah. I'm feeling better now. Feeling better. Okay. Okay. Like I said, I don't have too much of a plan. Just a teal feeling. So I've pulled out a number of different teal-ish. I mean, like, yeah, you can't really tell on the camera. It's teal-ish. Let's see. That might be better. Put myself over in the corner here. Ooh-wee. Two places at once. Listen, I don't know if you could call this teal either. This is more of like a blue holographic. Shiny. Shiny. So shiny. And this is, it's actually kind of an... Oh, wait, does that say 2022? I was gonna say this is a recent polish. Where is time? Who is time? Where is time? Okay, so maybe I lied. Maybe I just pulled out a bunch of blues and greens. That's okay too. Some of these are separated though, and they need some attention. As you can see, there's a good amount of, what would you call it? Separation, but that's separation of the, specifically that's, oh, I'm trying to think of the word for the solution that you use, but it's escaped. It's escaped. It's somewhere in the stratosphere. That's okay. A lot of these need to be shaken to get that mixed together, and I do have a vortex mixer, and as much as I would like to show it on stream, it would just make everything, it would be like an earthquake. And this is just as easy, and mixes it up really quickly. Just give it a little shake. Better late than never. That's cute. All right, what else we got? I have a whole set. I picked out these Jurassic World. They're miniatures from China Glaze. And they had a whole set come out and they were very popular. And I found this set of 2 movies miniatures on eBay for like 10 bucks. It's not too bad for 8 tiny polishes. They're so tiny. They're so cute. The tiniest. Yeah. Okay. Ooh. Ooh, gotta bring it real close. They too need to be shaken. So I think I've worn this one. This one's nicer of the bunch because it has these pretty teal pretty flakies in them in a sort of a green, olive green base. Very hard to see on camera when it's in the bottle. Wow, I'm going crazy with it. Wow. And these two are just an olive and gray beige creme. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've worn these, but I included them because I wasn't sure. And there's a couple I've already removed. I picked out this classic Holo Taco Cyantific. But the pigments are still not perfect. And this Color Club, it's more of a jelly blue. Pretty. So on one hand, I want to do like this teal, like a gradient. And on the other hand, I want to do a stamping design with like a really dark. I couldn't find my navy, so I went with the next best thing. And this is more of an indigo. Blurple. People really hate that word, blurple. How close can I get this? Wow, extreme close-up. Wow. Indigo Away. It's called Indigo, so let's go with that. And the dark base will work really well for the stamping. So I'm gonna use the white stamper, also very separated. Sometimes they just get like that. Like you leave it for like not too long. I don't know how long it is. I'm gotta be honest. Oh, I just realized. My ADD is kicking in. I just realized. I need to light my candle. So you pinch off this old wick. Yeah, you're supposed to keep the wicks short. It's like, if you light the candle and leave the wick long, then the carbon and the wick will have an easier chance, like the fire and the carbon will have an easier chance of growing in your area and like getting like that black kind of whatever ash or whatever on your stuff around it. Like if you had a candle against a wall, then you might get some black stuff on your wall. You give it a shake. Well, maybe don't shake everything. Don't shake everything. So this white and purple will go together. And then I'm undecided on everything else. I've also pulled out a bunch of LLP. This is now Mooncat. These are two holographics. They're similar. They're kind of one is like a blue and one is a green. So I wouldn't call them teal. No, they're much more blue and green. You can see that there on the back side. When it go like this, it's harder to tell, but there you go. That's a good shot. Yeah. So it's just guess I torn between whether I want to do a holographic or just a cream. So now here, this is nearly a match for Tiffany's blue, also teal. It is Orly's vintage. Yeah, they call it vintage because they want to associate it with Tiffany's. And it is getting a little bit washed out. because it is more green in person, so it's not coming across fully. So does it get included? Does it not? And then I also picked out this one called Family. Oh, that's nice. It's the beautiful golden. Look, it almost matches. And of course it needs a shake. Can you hear the... You probably can't hear that. Maybe if I go like this. Oop, no, not like that. Like this. That's the sound of the ball bearings inside mixing up the polish. Ooh, so pretty. Okay, this is very tempting to just go with this and skip this whole teal conversation. Oh, but this two could go. Oh, these two could go together so nicely. That's a pretty good combo. Okay. LLP, I'm sorry. You're off the team. Jurassic World, I think you're gonna go back into the closet where you belong, honestly. Jurassic World, those movies suck! Ooh, Kathleen Kennedy? I know that person. I know Kathleen Kennedy. I'm gonna come get her. I'm gonna come get her in the night, and I'm gonna make her pay for her crimes against Spielberg franchises. Is it Spielberg and George Lucas? Let's just include both of them together, because truly I don't know how she just... Let's move on. Kathleen Kennedy, man. All right, so what have I decided? Absolutely nothing. Got this colors, which could make a nice gradient in some arrangement. This is like this gray, so we have the blues together. Yeah, I think the loggerhead sea turtle will go away. That's not useful. I really want to use this. I just don't think that it would fit into... Yeah, see, these are like two different worlds. Like, this is nice and classy, and this is equate Tiffany's. So, what is that? Oh, that's right. Orly's been getting into hot water recently because they're like doing brands with J.K. Rowling for Harry Potter, and people are very rightfully upset about it. So, for that reason alone, we're gonna stick with setting that aside and looking at the other ones. Those go very well together with like some gold included. Could do some dotticure, that'd be nice. And then I can reserve this on the side in case I want to use it. Alright, need to get some water. Okay, so I think I'll start with the lightest color, and then I want to do dotticure. And I'm going to use all three of these colors on top of on top of this sky blue. It almost matches the matte. That's crazy. That's crazy. And I'm gonna do this with my left. So I actually want to start by painting my right with this base color, this indigo. Sometimes these scanning brushes can be really tricky. You gotta be really constant. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No worries. I can clean. I can clean. Bellissimo. Bellissimo. Get the ends. Here we go. First try. This little dish is my acetone. I'm gonna use it to clean. The trick with the indigo is sometimes if it spreads, it might stain. So it's like you gotta just get it in one good swipe. Yeah, see, that's the problem. It'll just kind of melt. Okay. This little spot here too. Don't stain, don't stain. Ooh, earthquake! One done. Woohoo! Keep going. I'm just so much more used to using wide brushes than these skinny brushes. And I'm not one of those kind of people who will take the time to replace their brushes. Some people do. They'll replace the brushes on all of their polishes. And more power to them. Because, like, then you don't have to complain about it. But it does take a little bit of work to get those other brushes and go through your collection. For me, my collection is quite large, and I'd rather try to practice the skill of using the skinny brush, since it's very varied, like whether brands use the wide brushes or the skinny brushes is entirely up to the maker's preference. So you get lots of different brand variation there. There we go. And then making a little bit of a mess, but that's okay. It's always okay. Messes are part of the process. Get a thicker brush so I can clean this one a little bit faster. I should really know what sizes my brushes are. Indigo, why do you do this to me? Look at that stain. I'm sure that's like pointing out like an ant on the ground and being like, oh, look at this. It's an infestation. When it's just one tiny little speck. But the annoying part is that it'll get underneath the cuticle. And because it's a color like it is, indigo, it'll stain it and then it'll be really obvious. I'm not going to be able to get that cleaned up. That's okay. It's always okay. I'm trying to decide which direction do I want to paint. Get some more paint on the brush. No, that's what I was so afraid of. Okay, so here's another problem. It's called flooding the cuticles when the paint goes wacky. And that's a real big problem for me. As aforementioned, it'll get under things and stay in things where it's not supposed to. How are we looking so far? There we go. Only one little dot. That's a success. Okay, now I'm gonna let these sit and go back to the teal. While these dry for their first layer. Get a second layer on in a minute. Just gonna loosely screw the top back on so I don't knock it over, because I will knock it over. Yeah, see, already knocking him over. This brush is a little bit different. It's a little less skinny than the other one. Let me show a comparison. So this is a truly skinny brush right here, which is very tricky for me to use because they're tiny. And this one, on the other hand, come on, focus please. Focus please. Well, it's not as skinny. It's not as skinny. That's all right. Okay. No. Screw that back on. It'll come back to haunt me if I don't. So this spread will be so much easier to paint. Already is so much easier. Even on my left hand. Why can't all brushes be this nice? Oh, picking up the brush with wet fingers. Tricky. And the nicest brushes can make a mess too. Yeah. And this will just be the base layer, so I'm going to mess it up as well. My left hand is so much more prone to making a mess than my right. I almost always have a little bit of a mess on my left hand, or when my left hand is painting. They try, they try. There we go. Let's start. It is a little bit more helpful when the paint is still wet to clean it up, because it will come off easier. Beautiful. Another trick is to try not to bump your other hand while you're still painting, while it is still drying. There's a hair. There's a hair on my hand. There's a hair on my hand. And I don't have my tweezers. Oh, I'm gonna need to try to get it. Got it. I think I got it. Top tip, try not to get distracted in the middle of painting your nails, because if the polish dries too fast, it will not apply evenly. Even if there's a hair in your hand, try not to get distracted. Hard mode is the extreme challenge. Just rolling it on the frickin' This music really makes me want to go like see an instrumental concert. I grew up going to the symphony and watching classical music performances. Wow, not this part. Unless you're like talking like what kind of music do you consider the Trans-Siberian Orchestra? Because they're kind of like classic ish, classically trained. It's like a full orchestra that they have. It is an orchestra, but they also have that metal like what is that like? There's got to be a term for that I'm not aware of. Oh, and this sounds like freaking Mario Sunshine or something. I'm at the beach with Mario. And we're all doing our volleyball episode. Okay, step 1 done. Part 1 done. Now is the fun time. With all the stuff on the doing. Okay, so then I'm gonna let this hand dry. Go back to do a second layer. Oh! See, that's the tricky part. You see that little bumpy? I barely touched it. Barely touched it. Just the most annoying part of painting nails is... Oh, actually, I realize now, this won't be a problem. Because I'll be able to cover this up. But I'm gonna do just the tiniest little bit of a fix in the meanwhile. Just put a little bit of dot over the top of it. And this makes me want to go to the beach. Beach episode. So a second layer on this is important because it's really going to enrich the colors and even everything out. If there are any like patchy spots I missed, especially on the sides as I go carefully around, fill it in. Try to avoid bubbles. Nice. And if there's any unevenness from here, it will be fixed. But you can see a little bit. It will be fixed in the next steps. So like here's layer 1. And if I get real close, you can kind of see a little bit of patchiness. There's a little bit of spot right there where I bumped my nails. So that's what will be beautiful about layer 2, is filling all that in. I'm afraid I'm gonna have indigo cuticles now. Yeah. I pull back a little bit. Maybe if I use the skinnier brush. Skill issue. Skill issue dial. Skill issue dial. Freaking skinny brushes. I'm blaming the skinny brush. It's not my skill issue. It's the skinny brush. Freaking skinny brushes. Yeah. Alright. See. Alrighty then. I'm pumped. This music made me pumped. Last one. No Christmas music. Christmas, 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 Christmas. Let's not listen to the Christmas music. Better. That's 2 coats. Lush and juicy. Except this one. This one's a little iffy. But they just need to dry so I can stamp onto them. Hello, what are you doing? Are you moving, Mitty? And then now I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna do second layer on this end, Oh, righty. I just think was it left or right? I have dyscalculia. Count-Chalocula. Oh my god, please, can you just paint straight for once in your life? Friggin' left hand. Friggin' bonies. The bones are their money. This sounds like Mulan music. Honor to my family. I'll bring great honor to my family. See that mess? That's my mess. This is an awkward angle as well. Okay. All right. So the next stage is the fun part. Super fun. Just gonna take some paint from these. I'm just gonna dot, 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 dot. Dot, dot, dot. Carefully, not making a mess. So I'm gonna start this blue. This is a good, this is like matches my fishnets actually. And then some holographic blue. And finally, the gold. I love gold. Gold. So I may have waited too long to start applying paint, only because it's not spreading as much as it usually would. So that's a good reminder for me to be faster. Faster, gotta go fast. Gotta be Sonic, gotta go fast. Ooh la la, bellissimo. Okay, I'll go faster on this next one so you can see better what I'm talking about. Because the base layer is going to be the conduit for all the polish to flow as I start adding to the nail very quickly. Mess be damned. Switch. Do some overlapping. That's good. And final layer. Some big dots on here. Some nice big statement dots. And a bit of a tip. Just a little bit. I like this micro tip. It's so cute. Okay. So clean the mess up after, but there's a little bit more flow on that compared to there. You can see the difference in the movement of the dots. Come back. Clean up that mess. Nice. And let's repeat once again with feeling. Second layer. Ooh, looking good already. Liking how this one is coming together. Yes, yes, yes. And some gold. Yo. Hell yeah. Mm. Mm, 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 mm. I want the base layer to be quite wet on the nail in order to move the polish. Do some big rounds. Seem to be getting bigger the further we go. Start off small, move big. Okay. Don't want to overdo it with one color. I'm back in here to cover up. Yes. Woo-hoo-hoo. Woo-hoo-hoo. And this gold will fill that in pretty nicely. Yeah. Chip it up. Give me the chips. Okay, that might have been a mistake. Hold this back a little. What's this? Coming together. Too much polish on that brush. My pinky is small. Ah, see. Left hand. Just can't control itself. It just spazzing. Try to use smaller dots on the pinky because it is small. Don't need to overdo it. Just a little bit is good. And I'm glad I'm doing my right hand first, because this method is very wet. It's wet on wet dotticure. So the wetness the wetness makes it take longer to dry. Tip it up. Yo. Gorgeous. Go ahead and set these aside. I'm not gonna need these colors. There we go. My left hand is almost dry. Set these two aside. So now what we're gonna do is some stamping. Get my little pad here. I'm gonna wipe off the stamping with my pad. And to pick a nice stamping plate, because I want to try to use some white Holo powder. And I want to cover up most of my nail. So I'm thinking like, ooh, I like this one. It has some zebra prints, some animal prints. I'm looking at the leopard print design. It's pretty cute. And maybe I'll just try a whole bunch of different colors so I don't have to clean it off every time. It is a little bit of a cheat, but it's a good cheat, because otherwise I'm gonna have to clean it off every time. This is a dual stamper, so I just want the middle piece because I want to be able to look through it. Wow. Oh no, this is nice to have a second one. It's cute with the glitter gems. Okay, so I need my swiping card. Here you are. And the polish, it's just gonna be a regular old white polish. But I do need a Holo powder. Let me find it. It has different shimmers. My box of shimmers. I decorated this myself. There's Reggie. I just stupidly bumped my nail. And now I have a bump on my little spot here. I'm just gonna cover it up. Nobody will ever know. You'll know. You won't tell anybody. I'm not sure my Holo powder is in here. This is mostly just shimmers. There's black hollow powder in here. Ooh. Or like a green. Might be this little white one. Let's take a look at the other box. Without bumping my nails this time. Got some distinguished gentlemen on the box. It's like I'm uncovering potions. My beautiful pigments. Mermaid pigments. This is regular holographic, just plain holographic. Pink shimmer. Don't think it's amongst these. It's got to be this other white one. Because here's this shimmer. And I'm pretty sure this is just shimmer, not holographic. Get out of here, hair. This doesn't look holographic, though. It looks like a shimmer. Yeah. Just shimmer. Just shimmer things. That is very hard to see. It's silver. Shimmer. It must be in a different place. So I'm going to improvise. Go with this rose holographic. It's a rose gold. And the warm tone will match pretty nicely with the indigo. So it should show. It should show. Let's cross our fingers and hope that it does. It's not too dark against the purple. Indigo, blurple. Alright. All that's left is just to commit. Get the stamping polish on the stamper, nice layer, and have the stamper ready. Draw it down, just like printmaking, and pull it up. And I need this to go like that. Great. Try not to knock this over. And then the trick with stamping is that you can't wait too long. So. It may look like a mess, but stamping uses a different type of polish than normal. So for the most part, you can just come back on your skin and just doop, 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 lift up the polish that's left there. You gotta make sure the tape is sticky. That's close enough. Cut off there. Then up this powder and get out an applicator brush. Little stash of these guys. Set them over there. Applicator brush, powder. Don't need too much. Just going from the lid. Extra dab. And then fun time. Rub it in. Really gotta like burnish it in. And I have a little bit of a spot here that I want to cover up. So I'm going to grab a paintbrush and I'm going to manually paint. Manually paint? Freehand. Just this here. There we go. I'm gonna let that sit for a second before I add more polish. Well, not polish. I want to add more where is the rum gone? I want to add more of this burnishing powder. So while that is just waiting, pull up to clean up. My acetone is starting to thin out as it evaporates. I'm gonna have to pour some more here. Clean up, clean up, clean up. The burnishing powder is gonna be all over my nails. I'm gonna have glitter fingers for like a couple days probably. But glitter fingers are awesome. I love having glitter fingers. And acetone. Great. Some burnishing powder. Is this dry yet? Yes. Dab it gently. It's a little wet still. I'm gonna wait a second more. Make sure I get enough on the rest of the nail. Wow, I'm waiting. You don't too much want to see the pigments when you're doing this so much that you want to more see like a shiny chrome-esque effect. Those white spots are the spots I just touched up. My edges could probably be touched up a little too, but I don't want to mess with them more than I have already. Just gently dab it on. Don't want to disturb the polish. So I'm going to come back and burnish it as it sits. The pigment will help provide like a crust to the polish once it's on there. So it'll be alright. Oh yeah. Alright. That's what I want to see. See, now it's starting to set in less white. And just gently, really gently. And even do a little brushy. Beautiful. Okay, 4 more to go. I changed my mind. I'm just gonna stick with the same pattern. Even though it's annoying to clean it every time, it's fine. Always fine. So I'm gonna use my cool little doodad here. Watch this. It's like a little spider alien. Little alien guy. Just grab it. And then I have my acetone. I'm just gonna give it a little spray. I have acetone to clean the spot. There we go. Come on, Bumba. There we go. Starting to think it might be time to put a top coat on this now. Let's see. It's a little sticky. Maybe in like 5 more minutes. Okay. This on here. I can foresee myself knocking the pigment over, and then it's just gonna go like everywhere, and it's gonna be the saddest day ever. I don't want to do that. Space this out a little better. Clean off my stamper. Like this magic. Let them kiss. They're kissing. They're doing a little kissy. Oh, it didn't work. Of course it didn't. To press a little harder. Kissy hard. Kiss hard. There we go. Now go under, press down, voila. This music's silly. Aw, meow! Glorious. Get that tape, clean up those edges. The tape works on the pigment too, to be honest. Meow. Did you just say meow? Did you just say meow to me? What do I look like? Cat? Running around? Nimbly bimbly? Okay. Oh my goodness, those kitties. They're not my kitties. Easy peasy, cleany peasy. I think I have this backwards because you cannot see. You cannot see, there is a glare. Put that like that. That's a little better. So I'm using this one here. Hello! How are you doing, Pippi? I'm just doing my nails here, getting this stamping aligned. Press down. And there we go. Clean this off really quick. Clean stamper. And now burnish it with the powder. So I have a tiny little pot of powder down here, pigment powder. And then I'm going to come on top and sort of gently dab it on because the polish itself will still be slightly wet. But that's what we want because we want the pigment to stick to the polish. Get a decent amount on there and then sort of rub it in, burnish it in so it is evenly distributed on the nail. As it burnishes, the holographic will start to come out. You can kind of see the holographic, how shiny it is. Yeah, but that's an easy cleanup. I'll show you here. I have some tape next to me. And the easy thing about stamping polish is that it is made of a different material than regular polish. So you can just take a piece of tape and we'll peel off what's on the skin. And anything that doesn't come off, acetone will get rid of in the end. So that helps. Now, I did just make a little bit of a mess on my other hand because I touched it to something else. So I'm going to fix that really quick. Let's say I can use 2 polishes to fix that. So that's the trouble with wet polish is that sometimes during the process, if you bump your nail, it'll make a little mess. But the good thing about art is that it can be very forgiving. And I haven't top coated these yet, so I can just add a little bit over here and redo my art from earlier. So I got that blue patch right there. Get a different blue color and add some dabbies, some little dotties. And next will be this gold. Gold! Okay. This will increase the drying time, so I'm gonna have to wait a little bit longer before I top coat these still. And hopefully not make a mistake. Oh, yeah. You can do all kinds of stuff with the nail polish. As you can see, my mess. So this technique on my left hand is called stamping. And the technique on my right hand is called dotticure, like you're putting dots on the nails. Focus, buddy, focus. There we go. So I've put a couple different blues and gold together on this hand. And I'm in the process of adding some leopard spots here. And next step. The music is distracting me. This is so cute. What is this? It makes me want to do like a little dance or something. Nope, these are my natural nails. I've tried to use extensions or like fake nails. There's sometimes called acrylic nails because that's the material they're made out of. But you have to like file the top of your nails in a way to get them to apply. And I just don't like damaging my nails like that. I gotta turn these little dudes down. I can't stop listening to them talking to me. So like you can cause damage to your skin or your nails in the process of applying the fake nails. And I don't want to do that because it takes so long for any damage to grow out. It takes like 6 months, I would say, for your nails to fully grow out. So your nails grow out like probably 2 full times in a year. Oh yeah, having any kind of damage or like anything like that, it can be very painful. The damage I experienced for the most part was it was probably more related to inexperience and not applying the nails correctly. So I do imagine like over time I would get better at it, but I'm not really sure that I need to, since I like doing, this is lacquer nail polish, and the acrylics use gel nail polish. So they're kind of different. It's kind of like fiction and nonfiction. They use different materials to make up the polish, and there's different systems for applying. So the nail polish I'm using just dries on its own. I've gotten used to them. These are, I would consider these short, but I know most people don't. In the nail polish world, this length is really short. I've had them longer, and I kind of just adapt because as they grow, I sort of adapt to typing with them. So I personally don't have a problem. Now, I know that's not true for everybody. For some people, it can be like, if you're not the best typer to begin with, and then you have long nails, that's definitely going to be an impediment to you. For me, I'm a very fast typer. I can type over 100 words per minute. I haven't tested myself and I don't know how long, but I have been using computers since I was very little. So I can kind of just adapt. Job, yeah. Um, I was abducted by the government for like 10 years. I was held in captivity, so I did a lot of work. But I recently escaped. I'm free, so now I'm hiding away in the forest here, and I am not currently working for the government, so that is nice. Because 10 years is a long time in government captivity, let me tell you. Okay, last nail. And I'm trying to think what I want to do after this. I slept like 14 hours last night. It was so wild. And I have lots of energy still. So after I do these nails, I have a pile of gachapon that I got in Japan a little while ago. And they're in just like a bag. They're not sorted or organized. But I thought about going through them, and I don't even barely remember what I have. Maybe organizing them a little bit. Yeah. And I'm gonna take this tape. I also kind of want to do some karaoke or maybe play a game. The options are available. I didn't have that opportunity. I wish I could. What I really would like to get is a yukata. I would really like to have one because it can be nice to have on the just like a summer day, just you know, breezy. Like the clothes themselves are comfortable, I guess is what I'm saying. I gotta be quick or else if this polish will dry and then I won't be able to get the shiny stuff on. Yeah, they are pretty. The kimono are so pretty. I did see a very beautiful woman in, I think we were in Ginza district in Tokyo. It was right next to where all of the sumo do their wrestling. And we didn't unfortunately get tickets for the sumo. That's another bucket list item. I would love to do that someday. But I saw them and I saw this beautifully dressed up woman. Like her hair was done in a really intricate manner and she had that really nice kimono on. Yeah, the theater district. And I was so jealous. I was like, I couldn't stop staring at her. I didn't want to be that kind of tourist where I'm like, oh, pretty lady. And I just don't stop looking. But yes, I was looking. I was looking so much. You get so pretty dressed up and you're in that area. Like, it's probably your job to look that nice as well. I'm sure she was like a host or some kind of professional herself. Or she could have just been going out on a nice night on the town. Oh, a kabuki show would be so cool. Yeah, I haven't done any of that really traditional stuff. Yeah, I wouldn't know what's going on. I don't speak Japanese. I understand bits and pieces just from exposure over time, but I would never say that I understand Japanese. My partner, however, is a practiced Japanese learner, and they would be able to translate for me, but not in a kabuki theater. Like they would, they wouldn't be able to be like sitting there and be like in my ear because that happened. Because we went to a museum in Nagoya, and it was a planetarium. So we went into the show they had that was where they project the planetarium onto the ceiling of the building and tell you all about the planets and everything that's going on. And it was beautiful, but I had no idea what the guy was saying. So it was like an hour of just sort of listening and trying to understand by context. Or like the very fragmented vocabulary that I have. Okay, what am I doing? What am I doing? I'm just taking a second to focus. I need my top coat. That's what I'm doing. So that's the last stage. So this is what differentiates this kind of polish from the acrylic nail polish is how it cures on the nail, or in other words, dries. And is this my top coat? Yes, it is. And you can use a base coat with nail polish. It's kind of like priming a canvas. It's not necessary. It'll still be fine if you don't. But the main difference is this part. And this is the clear coat that you put on top. I actually just refill my bottle. So I use the Glisten and Glow brand. You can see I'm almost out. This bottle is just what I use to fill it. So I haven't actually the polish that was in this is not actually in this anymore. But I need two different top coats. So there is actually a difference in top coats. So this one is smudge free and it's a bit of a barrier between the regular top coat, because if you make a design like this with a stamped polish, the stamping polish can bleed with a regular top coat, so the artwork will smear when you apply it, but not if you use this stuff, which is the smudge free, and you do it in layers. So I'm going to start with this left hand and apply the smudge free. And then I will put the top coat on my right. And then I'll come back and I will top coat my left. So this is kind of the lesser interesting part of the process, because all I'm doing is sealing the polish onto my nail and then cleaning it up. And that includes any of the other nail polish that might have gotten onto my skin. I said earlier, the glitter that I used is going to be on my skin for a couple days probably. So I'm just going to have glitter fingers. Can't quite see it too well. I'll be able to see it. Nobody else will really be able to see it, which is fine. But it'll only really come off after I wash my hands a bunch of times, and then eventually it'll come off my skin. But there's nothing wrong with glitter fingers. It's nice to have a little extra polish. in like polish as in like being refined, less making a joke to myself, sorry. Okay, I have started cleaning. I did not apply the top coat on this nail. I've done that before too, where I'm getting distracted and then I won't top coat the nail and then I'll skip it and then I'll forget and I'll come back. Unpainted nail gross? Oh, I rarely get that. Because I paint my nails probably every couple of days, at least once a week. Usually it's about twice a week, I would say. And I want to be streaming more often with my nail painting. So that's my motivation to stream, is to do my nails. So I will probably be trying to do it much more often. But in any case, the people who get their nails done at the salon usually do the gels, and those cure with UV light. So they have to put their hands underneath a little machine with the purple light, and then the light cures it. The polish I'm using cures by air, so it doesn't need that. But it's much easier to take off as well. So I can take it off with the acetone, this stuff, polish remover. And all you really need to do is just like soak a cotton ball and then put it on top and let it sit for a couple minutes, five minutes maybe. I'm usually doing something chill when I take off my nail polish, because it takes like 15 minutes or half an hour. So then you just let it soak, and then once it's soaked, you can just pull the whole thing off and all the paint will come off in one, and makes it pretty easy to paint your nails, ever so often. So yeah, new design. So sometimes, I can be really lazy. Like there are specialty polishes, like this one here. It has holographic pigment in it, so you can just use like one polish if I'm feeling lazy. Or if I'm feeling inspired, like I'll pick a bunch of different polishes for my nails. But I have so many polishes that it's pretty easy just to like throw something new on and redo it every so often, because I do want to make sure I'm using what I own and not just letting things sit. So I'm wondering, if I put my top coat on this polish, is it going to smear? Oh, I don't know if there were. I did try to search out some nail polish stores and I was successful. I got a bunch of polish. Let me think. Maybe 20 or 30 different bottles. I can't quite remember. It's a little while ago now, but I was looking at all the different stores we were going to, and I was able to find one boutique in Kyoto that sells Japanese like boutique homemade polishes versus a big like a corporate brand, because I found plenty of corporate brands that you can only buy in Japan, and that's cool too, but I really like the indie polishes. Most of what I own are made by independent makers in the nail polish community, and they it's nice to support small businesses basically, and it can be kind of like a thing where like the makers are in the community, so um they're they're like active and you can share pictures, and it's like it's a community versus a corporate is not so much that. And so finding an independent boutique in Kyoto was awesome, and I the lady there was helping me find what I wanted, and she didn't speak too much English, I didn't speak too much Japanese, so it was more of like a friendly interaction than it was a conversation. But that's kind of what I had. I had a second experience like that at not a nail polish boutique, it was just a regular store. But I got Jozu'd, which was cool. They told me my Japanese was Jozu, so like, yeah, I got Jozu. My nail polish bottles, I have so many that it is not so much a worry of mine that something is going to run out, except my very favorite polishes. I might even have one of those. Let me see here. Well, this isn't one of them, but this is a very close color to one of my favorites. And the one that I have is probably halfway. And once it gets halfway, it gets tricky because the solution, as it gets lower in the bottle, will become more concentrated. And you have to add, there's thinner you can add. This is like thinner. You can add a little bit extra solution. I have some of that here. Yeah, suspension base. So you can add things to it to make it last longer. And then that'll make, basically you'll have more polish for longer. So I haven't personally run out of any polish, but I also, like I said, I rotate between what I have and try to use all my different polishes. I have a spreadsheet that I use to keep track of what I have and all of its details, whether I've worn it or not. And currently I have made an effort to wear all of my polishes in my collection. So that's nice. So I don't exactly have unworn polishes. Get a little better here. Don't see any streaking on this hand, so that's nice because it can do it a little faster. This hand, because what I did here is like just come in with the brush and dot 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 dot. It added a lot of thickness to the nails, which means it's going to take a little longer to dry. And if I did 2 top coats on it, it might be too much, because if a polish gets too thick, it will have shrinkage, and which really just means like it at the edges it starts to shrink when it dries, so it doesn't maintain the same structure that it did before. So you want to make sure things are dry and not too thick, and I don't want to add 2 top coats to accidentally have that risk. Okay, now is cleanup. I love the cleanup stage. It's very meditative. So I'm just going to dip my brush in acetone and then wipe it all off. My acetone's looking a little cloudy because I've been using it now for a little while. So it's just a little too late to refresh it since I'm almost done. What have you been up to lately, Pippi? Playing any interesting games? There we go. Literally just going around my cuticles with the paintbrush to clean up any invisible. You're not really going to be able to tell on the camera, but there's a lot of top coat. So it's like clear, invisible polish that's on the skin of my nails. And I am wiping it all off. And at the same time, the acetone will melt the edges of the polish to seal it onto the nail. So it's sort of a dual purpose process. Oh yeah. Uma Musume! All right. Do you have a favorite Uma? I am not an Uma Musume player, but I know it from context. And I hear about the different characters. Oh, well, that's very kind of you. Helping somebody move. That's a big deal. I hope you have good luck with your job hunt. It's really tough time right now, so that's a hard thing to do. I completely understand. Okay, I think this hand is done. I don't think I missed any nails. It is entirely possible I am wrong about that. But I'm going to move on to this one because I believe I have not done the cleanup on this hand yet. I know, I just said it's too late to refresh the acetone, but it needed it. I can't help it. It needed it. Sometimes when I do this, I get this is so stupid. I get the Barney theme song stuck in my head. Like clean up, clean up, clean up, clean up, everybody everywhere, clean up, clean up. Da 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 da. That is a little bit what it feels like. Oh, my music. That's what I'm missing. I'm like, what is that? What is that silence that I hear? No, there. Aha! Much better. Just in time for me to get finished up. Voila. Okay, final stage. I do feel like this is missing something. Maybe the tiniest little accent. There's this purple indigo. Don't call it purple, it's indigo. Don't call it purple, you get in trouble. This is what I want. This nice skinny. Oh, Tomodachi Life, yeah. I too have been seeing the Tomodachis. Been watching Sherma play a little bit. And then getting his whistling stuck in my head. So I can't seem to focus on this. This is the tiniest brush because I just need some tiny details. I'm not even going to use my palette. I'm just going to steal some paint directly from the bottle. Wanted a little bit more definition. I do need some black. I swear I just dusted this bottle. How is it dusty again? This will be better. Just want to define the center of this leopard spot here. Much better. Okay, and the outside as well. That's probably as good as it's gonna get. Sure, I have the chrome powder. Much better. Good. Okay, blended and ready to go. So I'm just gonna finish up with the top coating on these. Oh, not through interviews. Oh, that is tough. Finding an interview these days, I hear, is just, it's hard enough to make it to that stage. And it might not be you. It could be that it's just really tough right now. I mean, the only thing that you can do is just continue to try. And try and do everything within your own ability, because that's the only power that you have. Sometimes society is just bigger than us, and we don't win against it, and that's just the unfortunate reality. I hope you're the best. I hope that you win against life and keep trying. Oh yeah, top coat on. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to that cleanup stage. Thrilling. Painting, it looks like I'm just painting on the edges of my skin. But I promise there's stuff there that I'm wiping off. And like I said, this will help seal in the polish and clean up all of the accidental messes. I'm locked in. I'm so like rushing to get the get the polish cleaned up. I don't need to rush. I I always feel that rush at the very end when it's like you're finishing your projects and you're just like, I can't wait to be done. I always get a little bit of that when I'm finishing my nails. So yeah, okay, they're a little bit different. They're a little bit different. That's how they are. Left hand, right hand, they can be a little bit different at times. I do think that the right hand outwins the left hand a little bit, just in the cleanliness aspect. Like, that looks pretty clean. That looks pretty nice. Let's see if I can get that holographic effect. Oh, you can see it a little bit. I might need to focus in with the camera later to get the micro or the macro shots. And left hand's a little messy, a little fun. That's true. That's a good definition for my left, messy and fun. Yay! Yay! Thank you for the claps. Now what do I do with this mess? It's really mess cleanup. I do need to let them dry though. This is the hardest part of painting your nails, is waiting for them to dry. Because unlike the gel nails, these just dry by exposure to air. So I'm spraying some. You could see the labels starting to come off, but this is how would you call it? Drying drops. They help things dry. Drying spray. They call them drops because they're usually seldom drops, but the spray is a little nicer. And it smells like coconut. Okay, so I'm gonna put all this stuff away. And I want to go through my gotcha, but with wet nails, it might be a little difficult. So I might need to instead switch to my computer, and I think I might play some games. So what I'm gonna do now is just take a little bit of a break so I can get things cleaned up and moved over. So thank you for being here for now. I'm just gonna go to a little bit of a break.